Q3 of 2025 is finally here. Summer is in full force. The sun is shining. The weather is warm. What better way to kick off summer than to do a What's in My Wallet video for Q3 of 2025? Really excited to break down my entire wallet setup with you, go over all the cards, benefits of the different cards that I use. I run a fairly complicated setup, so quite a few different cards in here, a lot of different benefits to talk about, different multipliers to go through. Be interested to see in the comments if anybody is running a setup as complicated as mine. So really excited to dive into that in today's video. But before that, I just wanted to say thank you to all my supporters. Finally reached a big milestone of 100 subscribers. Really excited about that. Super pumped. Really happy to see all the positive comments and the views rack up. It really means a lot. I put a lot of time into these videos in my busy schedule on the weekends. I usually record videos, so really is just a nice thing to see, to have that positive support and to see the subscribers grow and the views grow as well. So wanted to say thank you for that. If you're new to the channel, I talk about this type of stuff all the time: credit cards, points, miles, travel. That is my passion. If those types of videos and that type of content sounds interesting to you, please like the video. Please consider subscribing to the channel so you see more of this type of content from me. Would really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's jump in. All right. First up, we have the Chase Sapphire Reserve. So this card I product changed to recently before the higher annual fee of $7.95 went into effect. So I am now grandfathered into the old annual fee of $550. So really a no-brainer to do that here and to take advantage of all those credits starting in October of the $795 that they come with all those amazing benefits and credits, but to do it at a rate of $550, that's a really kind of a no-brainer in my opinion. So I recently made a video going over every single benefit, every single credit, and breaking it down, assigning a dollar amount to every single one of those things. So I will put a link to that video down in the description if you want to learn more and try to decide if this card's right for you. But I'm not going to go through every single one of those credits in today's video. I'll just talk about my use case and what I'm using this card for as it relates to spend in Q3 2025. So for this card, I am using it for currently the $300 travel credit. So how I'm using that is I commute to work, and that amount that I need to spend on the public transportation to get to work every day. Actually, I just confirmed this the other day that will trigger the $300 credit. So that's money I'm spending anyways. I spend over $100 every month on that, so that'll knock out easily, naturally within 3 months there. I'm also spending some on dining with this. So for the most part, my wife is spending all of her dining on the Chase Sapphire Reserve to earn 3x. I'm still sprinkling in some Amex Gold, which I'll talk about here in a second, for 4x, but I'm also putting some dining purchases on that as well. And the reason for that is that any points earned for the next little while on this card will still grandfather you into the 1.5x cents per point boost through the travel portal floor. I know that was a giant mouthful, but anyways, signature benefit of the old Chase Sapphire Reserve, 1.5 cents per point floor on travel booked through Chase Travel. That is going away. But the important part here is that if you continue to earn points, I want to say the date that you can continue to earn points through that is the same date as the new benefits go into effect on October 26th, 2025. So any points earned through your Chase Sapphire Reserve or any of your Chase cards, as long as they're pooled into the Sapphire Reserve by that date of October 26th, 2025, you will be able to access that 1.5x boost through the portal, I believe, for 2 years through 2027, October 2027. So don't quote me on those exact dates, but I am 99% sure of those dates. So in any event, that's why I am putting some spend of dining, even though 3x is less than 4 by the Amex Gold standards. I think there's a unique opportunity to kind of lock in some benefits there. And at the very worst, Chase points are extremely valuable. So I don't mind earning 3x on dining. All right, next card up, we have the Capital One Venture X. So this card I am using, obviously everybody knows it gets 2x everywhere, but specifically for this, I use it on rental cars. So recently just did a rental car, put that down as my rental car card for that purchase. This gets primary collision damage waiver, so primary insurance on your credit card, which is great benefits. So use it for rental cars, and then I also use it for my catch-all card for anything that is not covered by the next card on the list, which is the U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve. So I will use this as my catch-all card if mobile wallets are accepted, and the reason for that is that you get 3x on all mobile wallet purchases. So it doesn't matter what it is. It could be, a car mechanic. It could be a doctor's bill. It could be anything and everything that you could imagine. You get 3x when using mobile wallet, which is excellent. This card is discontinued, and it is no longer open to applicants, and probably the reason for that is because it's so powerful. Not only do you get that 3x on every spend, like I said, there are so many purchases that come up. Like recently did a big car repair bill on that. Like I said, doctor's bills, any type of purchases like that. Like also, if your family shops for clothes, like TJ Maxx, typically you would only be able to get 2x on the Venture X, but tap to pay, get 3x there. But the reason why it's so valuable is that you can redeem all those points that you earn at a 3x rate for 1.5x when redeemed for travel. So redeeming it for hotels, flights, Ubers, cruises, I believe, are a part of that category, and so on, just kind of the general travel category there. And it effectively is a 4.5 x multiplier on all that spend if you redeem for travel, which is very easy to do. So I won't spend more time talking about that because it is no longer available. So sorry for everybody who was unable to get that beforehand, but just wanted to touch on it here because it is a huge part of my setup. Use it all the time, and it is a super powerful card that honestly didn't get enough publicity when it was active. So sorry if you don't have that. All right, next up is the American Express Platinum card. This is the Charles Schwab version. I use this card for 5x on flights booked directly with the airline. And then the Charles Schwab version allows me to get 1.1 cents per point valuation when I'm redeeming this for cash through my Charles Schwab brokerage account. Which I do take advantage of from time to time. I know that's kind of sacrilegious in the points and miles world, but American Express is handing out sign-up bonuses like candy. Got a surplus of points, and I prefer to get that 10% boost from time to time and cash those points out so I can invest those into, whether that be a retirement account or put it into a money market and earn 4.5%. Or a high yield savings account to have access to liquid cash at nearly 4%. I just think that, the points sitting there, not redeeming, lose value over time. So that's not a talked about enough strategy in the game, in my opinion. Or I'm earning points faster than I can spend them, and I'm traveling a lot. So that is the use case for the Charles Schwab American Express Platinum card. All right, the next up is the American Express Gold card. I alluded to this previously when I talked about the Chase Sapphire Reserve. I normally use this for all of my restaurant purchases to get 4x points back. I already talked about the special use case and why I'm focusing on the Chase Sapphire Reserve for dining for the next couple of months here. But other than that, special circumstance, always using it for 4x dining and then 4x on groceries. This card is an absolute workhorse. It is underrated, in my opinion, if you can utilize those credits, which they work well for me and my situation and my family. I live in a big city, and I'm able to easily take advantage of those Dunkin' credits. There's a Dunkin' Donuts in my building downtown, in downtown Chicago, that I go to organically anyway, so that is a full $84 for me. The Resi credits, my wife and I, there's a ton of Resi credits near us, and then the $10 Grubhub dining credit. I get lunch for work twice a week, usually, so easily making value out of that. So anyways, works for me. Doesn't work for everybody. I am not currently using this for groceries, and I'll explain that in just a second when I show you the next card, which is the American Express Blue Cash Preferred. This card gets 6% cash back, so not membership rewards. This is a cashback card, but 6% back on groceries and 6% back on streaming. So currently using this as my grocery card. Typically, I choose to earn 4x American Express points over 6% cash back. And the reason for that is I tend to get at least 2 cents per point from my American Express membership reward points, which would give that an 8x equivalent for spending through the gold, but the reason why I'm focusing the grocery spend on this card right now to get 6% is because my wife recently tried to apply for an American Express card and was given the pop-up. I don't know exactly why they decided they don't want to give her a sign-up bonus, but in any event, even though it's not an exact science when you're in pop-up jail, one of the kind of best theoretical ways to get out of pop-up jail is to spend on their cards. So we've decided to, or I guess I've decided to, since I'm the credit card person in the household, decided to shift that grocery spend over to the American Express Blue Cash Preferred to get that 6% back, and we'll see if we'll get in American Express's good graces to earn some sign-up bonuses in the future. So not a bad way to shift spend to get 6% cash back. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a very strong earning rate. And then we also use this for streaming, so 6% back on YouTube Premium. And then, if I'm supporting some of my fellow creators and give a super chat or whatever, that also gets 6% back on that. So that's a current use case for that. My wife also does Spotify Premium, which gets 6% cash back. So getting some use out of the BCP. All right, let's see. The next card that we've got on the list here is the Capital One Saver card. This doesn't get a ton of spend. It actually very rarely gets spend, but every once in a blue moon it does, and I use that for my dining and grocery card when American Express is not accepted. So I've yet to come into a grocery store that we frequent where they don't accept Capital One, or American Express cards. So it doesn't get spend on grocery, but it does from time to time get spend for dining when they don't accept American Express for my gold card. However, in a little bit of a unique situation where I'm spending on the Chase Sapphire Reserve, so that's a Visa. So this technically won't apply for the next couple of months here, so I'm not going to get a ton of use out of my Saver card, but it's always nice to have a backup in the wallet. And then also, this comes in handy when you travel internationally, or when I travel internationally, I should say. I typically, again, I'm saying it 100 times, use the Amex Gold card, but Amex is less accepted overseas, generally speaking, than it is here. So this is a great card to have in your wallet because it doesn't have any foreign transaction fees, which is excellent. So this is a no-brainer annual fee card for beginners and kind of, beginners in this game because it gets solid earning, no annual fee, for no foreign transaction fees, backup for an Amex, solid card. All right, next up, we've got the City Custom Cash. This one's straightforward. There's a million YouTube videos about this card, but it's very, very simple for me. I use it for 5x on all my gas purchases. Easy enough there. And if I'm purchasing gas at Costco, which does not accept MasterCard, I will use my U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve to get 4.5% back, effective percent back on my Costco gas purchases, since that U.S. bar is a Visa. Other than that, goes on the City Custom Cash, 5% back on gas. Straightforward, easy. Next up, we have the newest member of my wallet, the American Airlines Advantage Executive card by Citi. That is a mouthful, but this is the newest card in my wallet. I got this card for the 100,000 mile sign-up bonus that I recently completed, as well as lounge access for myself and my family, since my home airport is O'Hare, and we do not have an American Express Centurion lounge. We don't have a Sapphire lounge. We don't have a Capital One lounge. It's a lounge desert there in O'Hare, except for United and except for Admirals clubs with American Airlines. And the best way to get access to those Admirals clubs is with this card. I also plan on using this for 10x back through the Citi Advantage hotel portal. This card gives you great perks there. I go into kind of a full explanation of why I got this card in a recent video where I did my credit card roadmap. I'll put a link to that in the description as well if you want to check out that video to get more details about this card. But just to suffice it to say that American Airlines hotel portal is actually very powerful and a great way to earn American Airlines points that are extremely valuable. All right. Next up, Chase Inc. Preferred. This was getting my general travel purchases at 3x, and this is a great thing to have when the general travel category goes away from the Chase Sapphire Reserve, which is on my list. I'm actually putting general travel on a different card, which I'll go over here after this one. But I do have a different use case for this, and that is shipping. So 3x on shipping through this, not a very talked about category because not a ton of people who aren't small business owners spend on that category, but I do have another small business that I run here, and I often incur shipping charges, and I use this card for that. And then I also ship packages. My family, my wife, and shipping packages for my mother-in-law all the time. So several times a month, I'm shipping to different family members and different gifts and things. And I'm kind of I got the label printer, and I'm the shipping guru of the household, along with my credit card, the points and miles guru of the household. So two titles that I wear. So doesn't get a ton of spend, maybe $100 a month, but that's what I use it for. 3x. All right, next card that I was just alluding to is the American Express Business Gold. I am something that I feel like I've got a really nice handle on all the credit card multipliers and categories. Just by virtue of kind of being obsessed with this stuff and making YouTube videos and constantly having to recite it. But something that kind of fell off my radar is that one of the categories, one of the 4X elevated categories of the American Express Business Gold is transit, and kind of those general travel purchases like, commuter public transportation, trains, buses, parking, that type of stuff. And living in Chicago, and I just mentioned I spend over $100 a month on just the transportation to and from work. So that's a consistent expense for me, as well as we're always parking in the city and paying for parking. Like that's a decent chunk of change that I spend on those general transit purchases. And one of the categories, 4X, is on the American Express Gold for that category. So, American Express Business Gold. So that is just something that I never really kind of thought about until I recently reacquired this card for a 200,000 point sign up bonus. So currently spending on that sign up bonus as we speak. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and use that multiplier, and then kind of got a very, very niche use for another 4X category. So for those of you who don't know, it comes with multiple 4X categories. You get two categories out of those several categories that you spend the highest in, you earn 4X. So I did a terrible job of explaining that, but you spend the highest amount, whatever two categories that you spend the highest amount in of those categories, you get 4X. So just butchered that, but I think you get the point. The second category that I plan on utilizing is on U.S. electronic stores, and I plan on buying Nintendo Switch 2. At Best Buy or another electronic store when that actually comes into stock. And the $550, we're going to get 4X on that, and then that'll be great. And then I will probably transition this to my restaurant card after October 26, 2025. And put my restaurant purchases on it for 4X membership reward points. You might be asking why I don't just put it on my Amex Gold card, my personal gold card. And the reason for that is that personal cards report to your personal credit. And if I'd rather put the restaurant spend on a business card that doesn't report to my personal credit, and lower, by doing so, I would lower my overall utilization rate and slightly increase my credit score. So that's a very in the minutia of this, but just some of the things that I think about, and just being obsessed with this very, very minor tweak to the spending there. So, all right, next up, we've got the Chase Ink Cash Card. So I use this for my phone bill to get 5X. So I pay my AT&T bill for my household. I've got several members on that bill, so that is almost $300 a month. So earning 5X points on that is quite nice. And then I also, from time to time, will use those 5X categories at office supply stores to make purchases and earn 5X points that way. I'm not going to go into the details of exactly that, but there's a lot of YouTube videos that you can find on the internet. If you type in Chase Ink Cash Office Supply Stores, I'm sure you can figure out what I'm talking about there. So use that quite often. Next up, Chase Freedom Unlimited. This is my wife's catch-all card. So she actually, this is her catch-all card when she is not using my U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve. She does not have an authorized user card, but I'm able to put my Altitude Reserve onto her Apple Pay account, which is great. If Apple Pay is present, she uses my Altitude Reserve as the catch-all, and if Apple Pay is not an option, she uses her Freedom Unlimited because she's got that physical copy in her wallet. I'm happy to earn 1.5x ultimate rewards on those types of purchases. It doesn't come up often, but it comes up every once in a while. And then, so that's the use case for that. Next up, we've got the Chase Freedom Flex. So this is 5x rotating categories next month, so I'm recording this video on June 30th. Next month starts Q3 of 2025, and the categories are gas and Instacart. And I believe there's another ancillary category that's not as interesting to me, but the gas and the Instacart are what I'm concerned with. And I'll be moving my gas spend from the City Custom Cash for the next 3 months over to the Chase Freedom Flex to earn 5x ultimate reward points through Chase. I'd rather have Chase points than City thank you points, so that's what we're going to be doing. And then I'll see if I can use my custom cash for something else in the meantime. The most likely candidate for that spend would probably be home improvement source to get 5x, or maybe I would consider moving like general travel and transit over from my business gold over to the Freedom Flex to move it from 4x to 5x. So we'll see what I do there. But the last thing that I use this Freedom Flex for is pharmacy purchases. It gets 3x on pharmacies, and having a little baby and a family, we're always running to Walgreens and buying things and putting in, and it's always nice to earn a 3x on the Chase Freedom Flex. And the last thing I'll mention on the Freedom Flex and pharmacy, it just reminded me, if you link your Freedom Flex or Freedom Unlimited to your Built account, you can, in addition to 3x Chase points, for pharmacy purchases, if you shop at Walgreens, you'll additionally get 1 Built point per dollar on all purchases, and then 2 Built points per dollar on Walgreens brand items. So that's just like kind of a pro move there. There's literally, if you shop at Walgreens already, literally no reason not to do that. If you got a Freedom Flex, Freedom Unlimited that both earn 3x on pharmacy, why not earn an extra Built point? Essentially, I'm getting 4 Hyatt points. The way I look at it, 4x Hyatt points on my Walgreens purchases. So that is definitely a reason for me to shop at Walgreens over CVS. All right, that brings us to the end of the list. There are other cards that I have for different various credits that I use. Like I have an American Express Business Platinum, and I'll use it. I only use it really for to utilize like the Dell credits. I'm not going to mention it here. Or occasionally I'll do a 1.54 cents per point through the 35% airline boost for that, but like it's few and far between. There's a few other cards like the Hilton Business Card that I'm not going to go over here too, where I just use the credits and benefits, and I don't actually put everyday spend on. But every card I went through today, I legitimately put everyday spend on. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is this a complicated setup? Am I delusional and this is like absolutely nothing, and there's people out there that just run crazy setups that are way more insane than this? Let me know in the comments what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, and please consider subscribing to the channel. That would mean a lot to me. Referral links for all of these cards, I will put that in the description in the pinned comment below. If you choose to click on one of those referral links to apply for any of the cards that I spoke about today, please let me know. I want to thank you personally. That is a huge way to support the channel. If you find value in what I do, clicking on those links is a great way to show that support. So I very, very much appreciate that. So with that, everybody have a great summer. Have a great Q3. I hope you enjoy yourself. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching. Till next time.